What's going on, everybody, and welcome back once again to the channel. Before we get into today's video, I want to just address the terrible accident that happened yesterday involving Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Dwayne Haskins, who died. It's just terrible news, very sad, very young guy, had his whole life ahead of him. I made a small tribute video to it yesterday if you're up to go check that out, but just so terrible. But without further ado, I'm gonna get into today's video. So today's video is going to be me breaking down the USFL league that's starting up in a couple of weeks, a league that was around from 1983 to 1986 and now is making a comeback. So first, I just want to say the teams that are in the league, not all the teams from the original league are returning, only 8 of them are, and these are the 8: the Birmingham Stallions, the Houston Gamblers, the Michigan Panthers, the New Jersey Generals, the New Orleans Breakers, the Philadelphia Stars, the Pittsburgh Martyrs, and the Tampa Bay Bandits. Now, here are the rules that kind of make it a little bit different from the NFL. Teams are allowed to go for a 3-pointer after a touchdown. Of course, they can go for a 2 or a 1 if they desire. You can do an onside kick or a 4th and 12 if you're trying to get the ball back. And then overtime, this is where it gets really wacky. Overtime, you get the ball from the 2-yard line, and you have one chance to score. Each team gets 3 possessions in overtime from the 2-yard line, and they have one chance to score in each possession, and if they score, they get 2 points. And whoever has the most points after each team has 3 possessions wins the game. If each team has the same amount of points, it goes to sudden death. What's unclear is if it goes to sudden death from the 2-yard line or if it goes sudden death like starting on a regular drive. I don't know. And if a team scores 4 points in its first 2 chances and one team scores 0, then that team wins because there's no way the other team can catch up at that point. You know, some top notable players in this new USFL reboot, you know, all these guys are in the NFL. Nobody that was notable when they were in the NFL, but they're notable here. So Jordan Ta'amu, who was the former Kansas City Chiefs 3rd-string quarterback in 2020, he's going to be playing for the Tampa Bay Bandits. Kyle Luetta, the former Cleveland Browns quarterback, who's going to be quarterbacking for the Pittsburgh Martyrs. Then wide receiver Eli Rogers, who used to be on the Pittsburgh Steelers, you probably remember him. He's also playing for the Tampa Bay Bandits. And then quarterback Paxton Lynch, a former first-round pick by the Denver Broncos, will be quarterbacking for the Michigan Panthers. Now, you know, I just also wanted to, you know, shout out the top players from the USFL who were also in the NFL from the original USFL from 1983 to 1986, and this list includes people whether they were in the USFL before they were in the NFL or in the USFL after they were in the NFL. So, you know, the top guy, I'm gonna go from least to best, actually. So here are the top 4. Number 4, Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker, he was with the Dallas Cowboys and Minnesota Vikings and a couple of other teams throughout his career in the NFL. He tallied, I believe, over 8,000 yards in his career in the NFL and was also in the USFL and played for the New Jersey Generals. Number 3, Jim Kelly, who he obviously went to 4 straight Super Bowls with the Buffalo Bills, did not win any of them, but still a great quarterback and considered an all-time great. He was in the USFL. Number 2, Steve Young. You know, Steve Young has an argument for the best in here, but you know, there's one guy that is going to be put ahead of him, obviously, but Steve Young won a Super Bowl and still holds the record to this day for most touchdown passes within a Super Bowl with 6. And then number 1, Reggie White, the greatest defensive lineman of all time, in my opinion. I made a video on top 10 defensive linemen of all time, and I ranked him number 1. Go and check it out if you haven't already. But yeah, I give him the edge over Young because he's the greatest ever at his position. He obviously played for the Eagles and the Steelers in the NFL, and he also played in the USFL for the Memphis Showboats in the NFL, who are not making a return, at least not yet. So yeah. Comment down below what you guys think about this. Do you guys think this will you think this will last a while, or if it will get canceled after half a season like the XFL did 2 years ago? To the XFL, to be fair to the XFL though, the COVID hit right when they were doing that, and the XFL is set to make a comeback next year around this time, 2023. So that should be interesting. Will you guys be watching this? Tell me down below if you guys will watch these games. I'm definitely gonna watch them. More football, the better. And also important to know, when April 16th, when the USFL season kicks off, the second season of the fan-controlled football league will be starting, and Johnny Manziel and Terrell Owens will be teaming up on one of the teams, so that should be interesting. And also, as you probably heard, Terrell Owens says he can make an NFL comeback, and he wanted to play for the Kansas City Chiefs. So that'd be interesting to see how that plays out. Let's see how he does in the fan-controlled football league. But other than that, I'll see you guys next time. I hope you guys enjoyed, and tell me what you guys think about the USFL.